Oh, where's Mechi?
Mechi couldn't come.
He's gone.
No, Mechi's
Oh,
time.
Oh, Mechi's time.
He is gone, yeah.
It'll be in a few minutes.
Okay. So, we're gonna get going.
So het gaat vrije is nou finish part die als een start. So.
No problem. Yeah, sure. Alright, let's put the phones on line mode. Let's check out. Everything is a flow of consciousness. The phones are a flow of consciousness. You shut off the phone, you're stepping into yourself. You're stepping into your point of truth. And the trick is to get into the point of truth. That's the whole. You're not gonna find it. We're not gonna find it out there. Out there is where the distraction is. When I start searching out there, that's where I find the distraction. I have to find my problems, my shortcomings, and the abuse and all that stuff. But fine. So we know who we are. We know that we're not perfect. We know our lack of. So by dwelling in it, we're just feeding it. So the way it works is as follows. So we were put in Mitzrayim, and the only way there was a way for us to find our tachlis and to have the understanding that we need to be carved and created in a way that we can understand Creator in that specific way that He had in mind for the highest conscience, how He wants to reflect Himself in the world. So we are being molded into that ways, that wink of an eye, with that blink of an eye. You can go and you can make business with everybody, with a goy, with anybody, but mit der Yidel, es macht sich anders Geschäft, man versteht sich auf den Wink. I mean, like every race has, they all, jeder, wat Spanisch versteht sich mit einem Wink, und der Italiener hat sich einen Wink. Aber der Wink, das ist von der Hechste, the Tehira Ilah. It's the sharpest, it's the quickest, it's called Am Chacham Van Oven. Binna. It's fire, it's chashmal, it's lightning. So everything we go through, so in order for us to be able to, when the Eibster, when gewissen von Vroom in alle Städten, he showed him the stars, and what did he see? He saw this, he saw a light, a brilliant light, something that can dance and understand Creator like no other being. And he's like, I want this for all my kids, because he was Avram, he was the smartest man ever. He was Chachma in Welt. He was the boss. Like when Shechina wanted to show up, when Eibishter Tachazikana wanted to show up in this specific consciousness, in the way of showing his Chachma, he showed up as Avram. That was a Merkava for Chachma. Chesed. Kavi Min. And then Yitzchak, and then Yaakov, and then so on and so forth. The Melech, I know Moshe. So he said, I want this for all my children. I want this for all my children means everything. I see my energy. I'm coming from Creator, how I'm coming and I'm being connected and I'm acting out here in Welt. And then he went all the way to the end of consciousness, to wherever we need to reach and get into. And he said, I want everybody to be able to see this. I don't want to. I want this to the end. So Ibsha said, no problem, we're going to build it. I have a program. Good. He was only speaking what was already Tachlis Kavana. So the program is called Mitzrayim. We're going to go through a system that is going to shape us and to carve us out in a specific way. Fine, so we're going to Mitzrayim. Let's settle in. What's up, man? Yankee is here? I saw Yankee? Yeah, that's him. Okay. There's it on the chair? Is there one more? Okay, we're good. Okay. So here we are. We're going into Mitzrayim. So the Mitzrayim is built. We have this thing called Paroi, which is everything all your. We'll get to that, but it's something that lives off of pain. He lives off of mamash in the Meitzah. He's the charaim of the Meitzah. He's the charaim of the squeeze, because we already know we're gevuras. We're here in symptom. Even if you're not following, it's all right. Just listen to it. Let it go in there, anyways. And we're gonna explain everything. B'ezrat Hashem. So they're going into the back. So Mitzrayim. So now we have to go through this charaim. There has to be a backboard in order for it to be able to play out. I have to bounce off of something. So what happens is, in this Mitzrayim, Yosef, which is, just like we have Avram, which is Chesed, Chachma, then you have Yaakov, Gevura, and the Yitzchak Yaakov. Yosef is center line, because Yaakov is center line. Yaakov is Teferes. He's a balance of both. That's beauty, because it's a perfect balance. Right? We know right, left, and then the balance. And then further down goes Yesod. So that's why Yaakov needs Yosef. We're getting somewhere here. We're not just going into. We want to talk about Zerel V'Tola, so we're going there. We're going to do Zerel V'Tola according to Chabad consciousness, because as Yaakov goes into, so Yosef has to go to Mitzrayim. We have to plant. Tzaddik said, Olam, we have to plant them in middle of Mitzrayim, which means is that in my crazy day, in my crazy goals in 2021, there is such powerful light and thirst for Torah, for connection, for dvekas, for real dvekas, not just limdim. The majority don't, the majority, I'm good. There's ivr, there's a struggle with ivr, but there is just an abundance of purity, emes, and fire. And that's how you get into Yechidah, that's how you get into Dvekas, not by learning Blatter Gemara, not by flexing one, and then that's also an avodah. There's different, there's Oivdim, and then there's different Oivdim, there's the Akers, and then there's Chirisha, but then there's the fire. Those the front line, because if you're enveloped physically, you're going to experience God physically, you're going to experience Dvekas physically. If you're in spiritually, you're going to experience it spiritually. If you sit in Koilel, you're going to chop it in the Gemara. It's nice. But imagine having a blast of a moment of truth where like, Enod Movadeh. What do you mean? Everything is it. It is everything. Surrender to that. So Yosef is in Mitzrayim. We start building. Then Yaakov comes to Mitzrayim, which is Das. Yaakov takes the Das. It takes my bird's eye view, like the Nesher, and is able to observe. Imagine you're able to observe. What's the biggest problem here? That we can't observe it. We're in the spin. We need to bring Das to the spin. We need to bring Tikkun to Toyu. Now imagine you can just rise above and see right, left clearly. I go to the right. Why would I go left? How stupid do I have to be? I see now. I'm out of the spin. That's Das Elyon. That is Das Elyon. Das Elyon means that I'm able to process, or I'm able to process light. My Bechira, I know what Bechira means. Bechira means that I get to choose not if I want to do this or if I don't want to do this. I get to choose if I'm going to go this way or that way, if I'm going to be happy or if I'm going to be sad. I get to choose if I want abundance or not. I get to choose. Swimming, flipping in and out. That's what I'm using my das for. Now then there's das tachten. Das tachten, that is galus. Das tachten looks like your daily struggle. If you're talking about having stress and having pain and not seeing and lacking, not knowing, everything that with the heaviness, that is das tachten. That is when I'm already pulled in Mitzrayim, which I was born into, and I'm busy fighting a battle that is not even my nature. It has nothing to do with me. It's so out of character, and this is what Achashverosh did, Pari did. He gave the men the feminine work and the masculine to break the spirit. He wanted to break the spirit because when you break the spirit, there is no creativity, and when there is no of this creativity, then Klippa lives in that because there is a lack of expression. When there's a lack of expression, there's pain. Who lives in pain? Pari. That's what he feeds off. That's why he keeps you confused, running, chasing the next flash, the next season, and the next clothing, and all that, chasing the car, the house. Because when I'm stressed, I'm stuck in das tachten, and I'm in pain. And when I'm in pain, he breathes. That's just the way it is. The same way you want to live in peace and love, he wants to live in chaos. That's where he's at. Why? So you can find yourself in peace. Otherwise you wouldn't know. Otherwise it's pointless. You wouldn't know where you are. It's like being in the ocean. Now, first l'chaim. Just stay with it. Stay in silence. We're in the middle of a process. Don't worry about the thank you. We're all open now. There's an understanding. We know. We pass it to give it back. There's no. It's all part of the tefillah. So now we're coming in here to Welt. We're born under the contract that Avram had with Eibishter, that Gegei Yezeracha. So they own us, and we have to go through different forms. We have Babel, and we have Edom. Now we're in Edom. So the first thing we do, there's a bris milah. First thing we do is a bris milah. Bris milah means that we come into, this is a ball, almost like an illusionary ball. It moves slow. It's a slow. Imagine watching a slow, like being in the ocean. You're watching a globe. You come in over here. You are connected. You're yonic from this globe, which is through your yesod. That's how you are yonic. What does that mean? Everybody breathe. Put your hands down. One more, nice, deep. Mouth open, relax your jaws. Tune into your chest, center chest. Feel. It's an alignment, it's a balance. That's the Tiferes. Higher up. Alright. So, put your hands on your chest. Softly. It's giving birth to something new, to a new feeling, a new emotion, so you want to hold it. So you feel safe. So it's easier to just surrender to it because it's familiar to when you were held and that we're being held. It's all a muscle. It's going from forward to back. It's from the physical to see it back into the non-physical. It's a flow. It's an ebb and flow. It's moving with the oil, moving with the energy, creating it. So, where are we? Very Mitzrayim.
The water, the globe.
Yes, so the child is born comes into this world, and he's yonik. We're yonik from Yesod. Think about it. Everything you feel starts from your Yesod. Well, not everything, but it's the most powerful connection, is the Yesod. Especially in Paroi, because there is no moichin there, it's all emotion. So, your brain is off, the more he owns you. So the first thing we do is a bris. We cut off. Disconnect. You're not my boss. Disconnect, we're yearning from something else, completely else. We're yearning from Yisrael, we're yearning from a different channel. We speak the language that creates Yiddish, Listen Kodesh. Now, being here is a tax. You're paying a tax. Part of owns you, so it means you're going to work. There's different ways of paying taxes. Physically pay taxes by working. You go to work and you have no choice, and then he owns you with all the advertisements and everything that's in your face, everything. He's telling you what you need. So you work and he keeps it moving, enslavement. Then emotionally, that's where it gets painful already. Either you indulge and or just you're in the lack of. And spiritually is the biggest one he gets is Levatala. That empowers him, it fuels the machine. Creativity comes from it. There isn't such thing as a wasted semen. Everything gets used for something. When you're with your husband and wife and they're not for purpose of child, you're still creating. You're creating energy in the world. You're bringing new creativity in Welt. Now, there is a lot of creativity, but not this creativity. Not B'nai Yisrael, B'nai B'chori Yisrael. Not that type of creativity. Now, when you take that and you flush it down into Tahim, Nukva Tahim Rava, whoa, you're bringing pain. Choshech. And the last thing right now that we need is to give him more choshech, because he's spinning already. So there's no reason to give him moichen. So understand the responsibility you carry. I'm going to go a little, when we started this, I'm a big fan of the 3-6 month transformation. Don't need 10 years, don't need 20 years. It's not necessary. You get it. It's available. So, this is a little, I'm just going a little deeper. Chabad is not good as this B'chlal. We don't talk about it. Because, once again, if I discuss it, if I feel, and if I, bring awareness to it, then I'm bringing my das into das tachten. Because it's a cesspool. Okay, he has a das, it's made out of garbage. So the minute I communicate with garbage, you get pulled in. It's tenuk v'tohim rabba. It pulls. It's a vacuum. It's a vacuum. It's like you see something, you pulled in. You're like, I need it, I want it. That's the tenuk v'tohim rabba. That's how the whole. It's a pulse, and it gets stronger. And the more deep you're in it, then he pulls you stronger. He has a stronger grip. So we don't even talk about it. All we do is you just go into higher conscience. And then once we're not stupid, it's easy to choose. I want light. I want oil. I want light. I don't want cheshire. I don't want pain. I don't want doubt. So we don't need to talk about it. But since, guys, last week Matzah was in Lava Malka, there was a whole thing about it. And then guys asked about it. And Shovim, fine. I'm not going to make off like I'm not from Williamsburg. I'm not from there. So I understand. I don't understand, but fine. So show them. You're responsible. You know how this works now. And now choose. And if you occupy yourself with Das Elyon, you will not have to be busy with Das Tachten, which means if I choose light, if I choose when I have this temptation, I choose this business deal. Not this is a bad deal. I choose this, then you will not have to make a choice like how am I going to cover my bills? How do I do this? Breathe with your mouth open. Right, so you go into Das Elyon. And when you're Das Elyon, it's a beautiful life. That's Eretz Yisrael. And then you're Yerushalayim, and then you're Beis HaMikdash. And then certain times of the year, Kodesh Kodeshim. As we were able to experience this year, Tisha B'Av was Kodesh Kodeshim for us. We understood what it means. That's when the Yom Kippur, the Kohen Gadol goes into Kodesh Kodeshim, and Tisha B'Av we go into Kodesh Kodeshim. In Welt, what is that going to look like when Kesser acts out in Welt? So here we go. Das Eli and Das Tachten. Start choosing, start playing from the eagle's eye, from up above. Disregard the lower frequency, the lower channel. Because as you go in there to solve something, you will get pulled in there. So stay away from it. That's the Nesher. That's the Kavan Tzoy. That's Emunah. That is Nanai Kovet. That is, I think it's called Mashiach consciousness. We'll take a vote. If somebody sent in a clip like a half hour before from the Rebbe. Should I play it or not? You guys want to hear it? Very intense. I've never heard it before.
Sure.
We'll take a vote. Any resistance to it?
Ja, meer intens sounds better, no?
Okay, good.
Then sounds a little bit too.
What's that?
Sounds like intense, then a little bit too.
Listen to this.
Und ich jösser gewinn und kol haje. Demselben Tag ist dieser Kiel, Wort auf Nebisch. Und ich sag noch an nie meine. Achakele bechol jem Shiore. Und sie nie der Pschat wie die Chakrone wie ein Teich.
You don't have to understand what he's saying. Just listen to his tone. I've never heard him like this. So just listen to the tone. Let's just go with that.
Als Achakele wird warten auf dem bechol jem. Aber wenn es an der Shiore, konnte sei Rachmane Litzlan in 2000 Jahren rum, als Tiftach Perle Sotter, ist das nie das in der Zeit schon Achakele. Achakele, jeder, was weiß, Virus hat Mikrois, ist der Zeit schon Achakele auf Azar, was auch dort kommt es zu gehen. Und der Fall ist das Bechakele Bechol, jem Shiore geht es der Achakele als Jore Bechol jem. Bekommen wird es eingestellt. Arsche Knesset Agdele Bitfilo, aber es soll sagen, es Zernach Dovi Davdecho, ne Heeres hat es mir, weil ich Josra gewinne Kol Ajei. Und mir sagt er 3 Mal Bechol Jem Chein. Und a viele de Shabbos shel Achrise, wo demot in Niton, was zu ne Walbel sein, mit Zar HaGolus, I sagt mir nechet, wesach zene ineinu, beshuv cholitzim berachnim, mit der Hatkosh at Wort ineinu. Jeder Yid, nicht seine eigene Eigen, wird sehen, Bias HaMoshiach. Und die alle in Joni, was ne will, Rachmane Litzlan, ablegen das, verhalten das, Ton durch nicht, niemand erzählen, nicht jeder bekäme am Missis. Und nicht zu reden, nicht losen reden, wenn Bias Mashiach Zitkenu, wenn Heere der Aleinu Mamosh. Wie mir sagt, das Gehomer in Ani Meini und in Zemmach David Avdech, Was allein hat das gesagt, wird das nicht abhalten, Bias Mischiach Zitschenu. Worin Rabbe ist Machschovis, belehr wie ich, Vatas Hawaii hi Soku.
Jeder Jid wird sein. Der ist Mashiach. So, time to that. I already took it.
What's the uptouch of Mashiach recognized?
Yeah, sure. The uptouch, what Mashiach means? We each have within us a place that I am, that's who I am. Just the way there is the truth to the Ishmaeli is his truth, and his you can see it like what's his truth in every level. We're not judging, we're just saying. We also have a truth. And that truth is the ultimate truth of how Creator shows up here in physical world. Which is, technically speaking, it's a crazy thing because he's Tachlis Hapshitas. It's something that you can't grasp or you can't understand. You have to get to a point where you become one with it, but yet he wanted something to be able to experience it. So it's here and it's not here. It's here and it's not here, which means look at the other side of your let's see if I can bring it out. Look at the other side of your problems, of the other side of your struggle. Look at that side of when there is peace and when there is harmony. It's kind of like it's a place of oinig, it's a place of pleasure. I don't know, anybody have experience every now and then? Something that you are, when you are aligned, when you are, you listen to something and it uplifts you?
Yeah.
So, fine. Back to this. So Mashiach is, how it plays out is, there was a Beis Hamikdash. Beis Hamikdash is, as we know, that we are a screen, and it's being projected onto us, and we're playing out what's being projected. Our way is to align ourselves so we have the best projection. That's when it's in Dveikus, and that's when it's in Yechida, it's in oneness. The highest level of it is Yechida, which is I'm in complete flow of whatever needs to come through me. How do you know where it's at? When you are in alignment, when you feel content, like when you are sitting and you are having breath work, when you are after breath work, during the year, you listen and you go into a place of, that's the experience. What you're experiencing is your Yechida, your oneness. It's a level of Yechida. No, I'm not holding back. It's Yechida. I mean, there's levels of it. I'm not going to start doing that thing like it's not. It is. It's called Yechida. It's of course, it's the beginning. So becoming more one with it, and how it works together with what's happening outside is because, like we said, we were 60 years away from center line, from where we had to be. I was already doing my retirement fund for 60 and 70, and really, so I'm working for my 60s, 70s, I'm running from my 2s and 10s and 12s. I'm everywhere but where I need to be, which is right here, in the center, being present in the moment. So back to the Beis Hamikdash, projected, and then we were projecting out. The Beis Hamikdash was built, so it activated something within each and every one of us. It activated something that was playing out in the Beis Hamikdash, but it was really all within. We brought the karbanas as I did something energetic. I shifted something. I brought a carbon, and when the Kohen Gadol did a whole avodah of communicating and being able to move energies, and it was a beautiful show. Light, power, everything. But then that was just practice, because it was a projection to us, and then us over there where it was, and we did not process it. So now that screen was taken away, that scene was taken away. What happens? We go inward. We become the Beis Hamikdash. And it's brought down in the Svarim that we have everybody's a different part of the Beis Hamikdash, and we have a whole Beis Hamikdash within us. The heart is the Mizbeach, and there's a whole layout. And then you do the Avodah. So that's why the Beis Hamikdash Shlishi is going to be made out of fire, and they won't be able to put it out, because once you're lit, They can't touch. And the fire is with each and every one of us. And of course, there will be a physical. And then that's going to be a show, right? Because we will imagine what type of 3D and futuristic visions we'll be able to project, right? That's what we're preparing for. All the digital and all that. It's just to activate. You look at the phone and you talk to somebody on Zoom and across the country, and it's just to bring the awareness that we can do this. It's our technology. It's not what's a plastic. It's just to activate it. It's almost like Maaseh Kadosh Baruch Hu. He shows up in different ways, so we can learn from it. Learn from it. So all that is happening in Das Elyon. Das Tachten, diving right into the Nilus. And that's where the ugly dance starts. Depression, misery, judgments, fears, and then surrendering to whatever they're trying to oppress, whatever party is trying to hold up. So choose. Vaychi Yaakov, he came into Mitzrayim with us. He's here, and Shechina said that he will come with us. Don't worry about it. We'll do this together. I'm not leaving you guys alone. I'm coming in there with you. When the Yid fires up, when you're in Tefillah, when you recognize everything you do, you're a part of Tefillah. That's it. That's communicating and getting one with Shechina. Tapping into Das Elyon. So now in Shavim is a time, tremendous opportunity to tap into Das Elyon. And imagine if you have, 10 people that are operating Das Elyon, the type of light, the type of flow you bring into Vel. A million. 10 people, 10 million. So that's what Shavim is about in Chabad consciousness. Fine, I guess. Yeah, so get real with it. Put it to work. You have nothing to lose. Let's close the eyes for a minute. Let's go into meditation. Maya, you want to sit on the couch? You can move the couch this way. You're leaving? Alright. So shut that light over there if you don't mind. Shut all the lights. More? Yep. Bring attention to your eyes. So you picture a letters olive base floating around in front of your eyes. Brownish, yellowish, call this. Let it heal your eyes. The same way when you have a thought and you get a desire, that's how real your thoughts are. Choshech is going to tell you, what are you talking about? Thinking about a light going through my eyes. Okay, so why when I think about an impure thought, immediately I have a reaction? When I see some food, when I think of food, immediately I have a reaction. My whole body is pulling me. So that's Das Tachten. Now going to Das Elyon. If you want to give a tikkun to the Zer Levatala, then take your Das and raise it up. Force yourself, raise it up. You can lift. You've been doing this workout. So raise your Das as hard as it is to surrender, to believe, and to be like, just believe that there's a light that's cleaning your eyes. Create the light. You can use the imagination. The candles are here to help the imagination. All the neshamas that we brought in here. How do we know how real it is that you're bringing in a neshama? Who says maybe it's just a thought? Okay, so what about when you remember something sad or about somebody or something? What type of emotion does that bring up? The emotion is becoming real, that it's creating a reaction. So too, when you light a candle, you're bringing in that koyach, you're bringing in that oil, you're inviting it in. And they're here to help. Where are we at? Yeah, I'm sad that we all that's fine. We're good.
Even though it's a thought, so
What?
it's
Yes.
a thought.
So that's the shavim avodah. That's the exercise for shavim. To raise das, because I use my das to put it into Tahaim Rabbin. So now use your das to raise it up. It's the same thought that just triggered you into that. Use the same thought to raise you up. Yeah, please.
I was in depression and choshech, I was nicht in Das Elyon. The symptom for them is that you want to release something. Then comes Zeh Levatula. Zeh Levatula is just the symptom in welche matzah man is. So, as I was früher, the point is to raise the consciousness. Man focus not auf der Act, sondern so gewachsen am mögliche Depression für die ganze Zeh Levatula Masse. It's ungegossen. Mit der Zeh Levatula hat man es begründen noch mehr. Stuhl suchen a Regel, das ist ein Symptom, als du bist nicht schon high conscious. When du bist high conscious, is in flow, you don't want to play with this automatically. So, das was mir rausgekommen von reden, ich sage Menschen, wenn wir in Depression, it's schrecklicher Stress. So, dafür arbeiten auf dem Das Alien.
Yeah. We also have different techniques over here. We also have different techniques how we raise the Das Alien. I don't like an anikla in the pishka, smiling to somebody,
Smiling.
and talking on them. Thank you. You always make me. It's good to be here. Like, just doing that and you're activating that.
It's not easy. Schneller Weg.
You get out, you bring it in, because you're activating. So now, as this flash, this light is coming to you, you are a screen of happy. You become a tselem of happy. Follow? Right, so if I'm the screen, it's being projected to me. So if I'm like this, then I'm getting that type of an energy. But if I'm stiff, then I'm getting a stiff energy. By doing a chesed, doing a tzedakah, I'm flowing with the tzira, that's just a happy tzira. And then my magnetic field becomes a happy magnetic field. I'm attracting happy things. What do you want to do? A niggin? Do you want to do a check-in? What do you want to do? Huh? Song? I'm not feeling so confident in the song, so that's why I need the support. So,
A song. Got it up? Lack of expression. You mentioned that.
no, lack of expression. Yeah.
Lack of expression creates. I said it once. Creates stress. Yeah. Yeah.
I said
This
it.
was the one. Yeah.
Something so pressed up the energy.
Lack of expression. I said it before.
This is what you said.
Yeah. And that's what I said now.
Yeah.
Yeah. In
I
different
just
ways.
want to.
Yeah, exactly. No, I thought you told me I said that. I'm like, I didn't. Did I say that? How's everybody?
You're not hot, right?
What, me?
Cool.
Not hot. So it's a fresh one, so that's a little time to work on it since Friday.
Fresh.
It's a fresh tefillah, so I had a little time to work on it since Friday. This is for you, Rav Stein. Hey, yo, yo. Ay, ay. Hey, yo, ba, ba, ba. Hey, ya, men, bayim. Hey, ya, men, bayim. Neyom, Hashem, ay, ay, ay. Neyom, Hashem. Shalachti Yiral Model. Lo yirav lalechem v'lo yitzam al hamayim. Lo yirav lalechem v'lo yitzam al hamayim. Oy, oy, oy. Oy, oy, oy. oy 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 hinei yomim boyim hinei yomim boyim Yom Hashem oy 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 Loi rab lechem Loi tzmal amayim Loi rab lechem
Can I ask what I have to? About me, homie.
Yeah, what do we have to? Es Hashem Elikecha B'chol levavecha B'chol nafshecha B'chol meyodecha Advarim mo'ele Asher anoichi mei khadoy nay le khal nay slem zay kay le khal ak yevofen ey mei khoy lay lay khoy yesabeido va after nay shel ham es Close your eyes, stay with it. Focus into your forehead. I want you to focus into the back of your head, Kesher Shel Film. That's where Das is, that's where it resides. I want you to visualize there is a circle shape of running, like a light running from our heads, from the foreheads, connected like a circle. Oval shape. Where we're sitting. Orange, red, greenish. Let that heal you, let that bring awareness. Clean, wash. Says in Tanya, it's not, I know it from Tanya, but I'm sure it says in other Svarim too, or not, that, no, okay, for sure not. It says the Mokar Shabbat Tshuva Oimad Ein Tzadik Nir Chayim Lamed. So in Tanya it talks about it, goes into how it works. What does it mean that a place where about Tshuva stands, that the Tzaddik Gomer can't stand, he doesn't reach that level? How is that possible? It's not just Vetlich. What it means is that, like we said before, the Tzaddik knows the Eibishter in his Tzidka's world, which is, he knows him from the paper. The oisies, the letters, whatever he reads. That's his communication. He has his Kaddish V'Torah with his Avodah from eating. Right? That's the Tzaddik. we have him in the physical. Yeah. So works is that now I'm taking that koyach, the koyach that I have in my day to day, in my physical. I use all that to rise above. I use all my language, all my whole full expression. I have so much expression. My car, my house, my food, my everything is my expression. I take all that and I use that to give me the koyach to step into it, to whatever I need to step into.
I was thinking Ritzon Yerayah Yasa. He does the will of the one who wants him. Ritzon Yerayah Yasa. If I fear him, if I want him,
Very good.
he just does it.
That's Bechira.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Choose. That's choosing. That's exactly what we're talking about. Bechira das. Das Elin is like I'm choosing to create good. I'm choosing to create positive.
My Rusa.
Yes, which is his expression. It's all one. So that's how he rises above. That's how you have the koyach now to go even higher. You gotta go? You gotta go? Oh, I thought you were venturing. Okay.
That's how what?
That's how the Baal Tshuva now with all so thank you. So the Allah Zeir Levatula that we have, all that koyach, we're using that now to bring the fire back. We're using that to give me koyach to go forward. It takes a minute, it takes muscle, but you have the koyach. Big time.
Full force.
Full force. As you're feeling that pinch right now, you know exactly what's going on. You're like, bring it on, or listen to it. You know that it's not here to hurt you; it's just here to bring your awareness. It's pushing you stronger because you have so much more of that other that's pushing it. That almost the choshech is coming at you, but now I'm looking at it as I'm using it as a tool. I'm using it to there's such a force here. So what am I holding? So use that to go in to step into a positive light, and that's klali. Prati is prati. It's check in with that. That's a different story. We're downloading the program. Yeah. Okay.
Break away from the past.
How you break away?
Past after we go to that side.
Okay, good question. So, klali prati. So prati is, I don't know. You have to check in with that. Prati like a personal thing, but in general, let's explore this. How I step into it, where I choose to step into positive. Like coming to a shir is me stepping into the light rather than making cheshbonos. I have to do this. And I'm so exhausted. My day is just like drained. I can't step into the light, and all of a sudden, what you find is an unlimited source of flow, because it's flow. Only the nachash needs to sleep. Only my choshech needs to sleep. When I'm up, when I'm dancing, there's no sleep. So only choshech wants to sleep. So as I step into to the light, I have this unlimited force of energy. I mean, we're getting there slowly. It's not a limit because we still have chomer. I still have judgments. I'm still busy with nachash. But soon there's going to be a ivalam avis al netzach where this choshech is going to cease to exist. The more we're going to be able to go. Living on a thought, like on a concept, and you feeling it raises your awareness. You listen to a song, it raises your awareness. Like you live off of that. That is piyavai. Lo yad alech malvad yichi adam ela kol notzi piyavai. Pari wants me to live from what I see, physical, eating my bread and chasing, but no, I can live, I don't need all that. I'm saying, and again, not so almost.
So what happens with the old, with all the that from whatever person that.
So right now, so there's difference in Kippur is mechaper and all that, but right now we're using that for koyach as a You're taking that to get yourself out. Raise your awareness, fight. Use that to fight. As you have a temptation to do something, you're saying no. You use that akshanas, use that koyach that's trying to pull you in, use that to say no.
Using that to be
Using
about Shiva.
What's that?
Using that
Yes,
to be about Shiva.
correct.
And with that we are
Use that akshanas. Nothing's gonna happen. Nothing's gonna explode. Nothing's gonna, that's it. And if something happens, then it happened. Said it. Listen, at the end of the day, we are here, we are Vadim. We're there's stuff moving, don't know it, we don't know. It's not, but the Nachman gives us, Tikkun Klali, Mikveh, What's the point of this? Let's get clear with this. This is not Frimkeit. This is not Frimkeit, this is nothing to do with Torah. Torah does not mention Zedel Avitala, except for by Yehuda's kids. But we're talking here about the difference between life and death. We're talking here light and choshech, misery and pain or happiness. That's what we're talking about. You're going to be generating this to Nukva Tohaim Rabba, to Paro's henchman, Sarah Tabachim, or you're going to give it to Yosef HaTzadik. And he's going to take you, because Yosef is here in Mitzrayim, in the pit with us, and then the Torah of the Yisrael is Binyamin, even lower, all at the end, the bottom, right, at the edge, Manhattan, working like we're out there, doing all that, but they're going to raise you back, because Yosef does not move in Mitzrayim. Tzadik Yisrael Olam. He landed perfectly in there. And then Yaakov came, the Nesher right above him, he's ready, he has the 12 shotim, we have the koyach. That's what you use, that's how you overcome this. And then you realize that the whole creativity, everything comes from there, and then you can use that to drive a desire. Imagine you have a desire, you use that desire to understand a concept, to understand something. Or to use that to make parnasa. Use that desire. Bring her into Kesser.
I'm not sure if there's a place here. There's the movement, the no fat movement. Familiar?
No. What are we talking about?
But hold back and not from a Chassidish, not from a...
from a spiritual thing?
No, just reserve the energy.
Right. Okay, I'm not that too... I'm assuming it's good. I'm good. You want to share something?
From a psychological point of view, a mens vraagt zich, where am I running away from? Some mental temptations. Etwas Leid, die doen hem, ze verstikt. Ze gaat wel toe. So asking yourself, what am I running away from? Kan dan aanbrengen en effectief de mens van de act. Ze treffen zich. Ze treffen de light.
Using their desire to run.
Ja, wie läufst du? Kom maar her, du. Etwas läufst da weg van. Je want to distract yourself. So du bleibst light was davon rauskommen. Instead of the light soll rauskommen, ist es natürlich, das ist gefährlich. Was läuft weg? Welche light läuft weg? So you tune into that, then you feel empowered. Als ze doen de riesige keuken van light, was willen herkommen. En verschluffen, wow. Get the mental self-esteem. Es kommt alles von einer guten Platz.
So the temptation is not from just a Yetzer Hara that pushes it?
Temptation is suppressed light, what the mensch hat.
So lack of expression creates
expression. En Thomas bringt hem zijn expression van wel 10 days, is de prat is als een zeer powerful light, now what I'm running away from. She a powerful light, als a light was can create in Welt jetzt. And I'm just gaan de keuken zien, weil ich viel in so schwer, ich viel nicht, es hat er weer. Zoals aan mij en deden we zeggen.
What is if I'm running from pain?
Huh?
What's this life of from pain? So in the pain is also light, I guess.
Dat is weer zo, ja. Als we lucht niet zo weg van de light, dan lucht hij weg van
Just distract from pain.
strekken van pijn. Hoe stiert ze de strekken van pijn? Ze kunnen brengen pleasure.
Right.
Zelfs ze kunnen brengen andere pleasure. Pleasure van daas, van geestig. Hoe viel ik niet worden? Ze distracten maar pijn, dan worden we bijgeteren.
The real pleasure.
Ja, met echte pleasure.
Right.
Pleasure was a connective en wanneer ze zoeken wegen Keesje, gaat dat zitten. Maar de ganze tijd is met z'n raam. Is wegen Keesje. Dat heb je wel mag de Keesje, wel mag een Keesje in de kans. Wauw, ze zoeken ze focus naar de Keesje. Dat is
The whole DAS program.
de ganze gedenken en het is met z'n raam, dus ze gedenken Keesje. Dat is maar eens.
That's right above the oil of the para, right?
Of course, yeah.
Dus ook het reptilian brain was me wel convinced wegen Keesje.
Correct. And he's the Tana, he's the reptile.
Dat is de reptile. We get to my like an occasion there.
Yeah, not Tana, because really he's just here to serve as a. But you know who's on the other side of him? He's in the Chanaim of Das. Who's in the front of him? Yosef. Yosef Tzaddik. That's why he loved him. And he wanted, but Yosef was on a whole different channel. He spoke a language that Hari didn't speak. A whole different level of communication.
The language that creates.
The language that creates, exactly.
I think what you said, I think it's just fascinating because even if I'm running from pain, I can bring false choshech pleasure, which brings me more pain.
Right.
But
So
I bring
vicious
the
cycle.
real pleasure, which brings me more art.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I've heard this also, and I liked it at the time, and then I thought about it. I like myself with everything, with my imperfections, because that too is God, is Eibishter.
Right.
No, this is different than Gamsham. Gamsham is like in my squeeze. My Gamsham is like, I'm struggling. But we're talking about that, I have faults, and I love myself because that too is a creation, that too is a manifestation of Eibishter. No. It's not the Yiddish Weg. There is no. We're now trapped. Our gevuras are trapped. So it comes out with fire, chutzpah. It's in the klippe and it's verhankerd still. But really, it has to be clean. There is no faults. There's no yichidin faults. There's no faults. I should not have anything but light flow through me. If it's not, if it hurts, then it's not good. It's not kedusha.
Fault you mean a virus or fault you mean pain?
Again, go before
What do you
fault.
mean? What do you define with the word fault?
Anything that hurts.
Misaligned.
What? Tell me the sentence that I said with fault. No. You want to go through in reverse when we're going like 70 forward. So tell me what I said.
He's saying something kedusha, but I'm sure it's everywhere.
Yes, but he bacher b'Yaakov, bacher b'Yisrael. He wants a specific way. He wants it through 613 kavim of different lights. Tefillin, what do you feel when you're under your talis? That's a massive kav. That's just a big one that we're learning to get comfortable with, that we're learning to connect with. Getting under my talis, yeah. The tefillin, it's something personal to me. That feeling, that's where it's at. And he wants to be connected to her, so he's everywhere, of course. But the table is not here tachas hakavan; it's here to hold the bottle. That is here to hold a certain glory, a certain type of light that's shaped in my fire. So listen. The cleaner we are, the better flow we have. The nicer, the less I'm gonna have to deal with my Izer Kenegdo coming at me with fire, or my boss. Whoever the boss, everybody has some boss. Right? Even the billionaire has a boss. It's meshubit to somebody.
Say
Everybody
again,
meshubit to somebody.
the clearer we are what?
The more clean we are, the more clean you're gonna process, the more happiness you're gonna have in life.
Because it takes away other stuff.
If I have a clean vessel, if I am a pure vessel, then I have pure light. So I project pure light. So there's nothing but happiness around me. So when we're saying that in my faults, the Eibishter is there too. Okay, go ahead. You want to live in that in Gam Sham? Go ahead. Good, live in Gam Sham. And then it's like, oh my this and my that, and why is it not moving? Why is it not going? That's what the Gam Sham looks like.
So that's like the choice to choose that.
Yeah. So use that like say no. I'm done with this. I'm stepping out of here. But how's it gonna work? But never again, ever. What's gonna be tomorrow? Hey, get into the moment. Don't worry about tomorrow. He keeps you worried about tomorrow. You know, I quit smoking 7,000 days and 40 years. I'm like, no, this guy's still on the cigarette. I have no
So
clue.
if you never stop smoking, vraag er nog eens.
Yeah.
So you're never trapped in this moment.
No, geen dat nou wat sigaret. Dat is niet
Right.
zo. Maar eigenlijk is het zo.
Where does it start from?
Where does what start from? The
All
pain?
Desire, no. Forget about, let's say, where it comes from, when it's impure, it's impure. But the desire to do something in this realm, like, what is that?
This avalek is what it is.
Can that be pure? I just want to connect, and obviously this is the way it's coming out because I don't know how or I don't.
So listen, yes. So the work is as follows. This avalek is what it is. This whole thing started from a desire. Okay. And what is a desire? It's one desire from beginning to end. Ein Sof down to me, you. We're all like desire. I want. Now, after each globe I go into, I have different desires. In Buvel there was a desire for dates and figs, and then we went to Rome, and then we came to America. My desire is to have more and indulge and eat and have more and have 2 fridges, and that's my desire. So it's a desire. So now, Pinchas Heshavas Chamasit. Now you have to take that desire, you unplug, and you plug into a different desire. It takes a minute when a running hose is shooting water. It's hard to change, but you change. How? How do you change?
Well, that's supposed to start. That's the way it goes.
Yeah, you're in Gullus. The only way you were going to come to this awareness that you have now is by going through this process. We were bought slaves. We were bought. There was some sort of process we have to go through. So this is where we are.
The only thing is to shift it, to move it.
Yes. How do I shift
the fact
such?
that it's coming.
So how do I move such a powerful force? How do I move it? If I'm going to say like, wow, all this and for all, no. Right now, this moment, I'm good. And I do different things to distract myself. Keep focusing on the moment. And you focus on the moment, you start building, and then you're taken in by more light. And then the person has less of a voice, and then you build bigger muscles so you can actually stand up for yourself.
Zo is praktisch. Ik vind het praktische eng. Mensen zoeken no, but at the same time when they say no, if they say yes, dat kroeven van de Eibishter. I am not looking on something because I'm choosing, I'm bringing it a carbon for the Eibishter. So making the no into a yes is empowers you. Dus ik ben niet degene die deze zag. I'm sacrificing for my love and for my connection to Hashem. So the Eibishter, I'm doing that. So it's get hadraaien weer.
Gele jaren.
Occupy yourself with the aside toy.
Yes.
Right?
It's doet hadraaien weer. Zoeken 9 is...
Yeah.
A low side is the Abish's Rotzon, so that is a tiny unto itself. What you're saying?
Yeah, it brings it handy that you sacrifice. Actually, inspired by Libby Evna.
Instead
I'm
of just meditating
sacrificing
that you're
my...
not doing something you want, you're actually doing
You're doing
the
it
Abish's
also.
Rotzon.
And you're
you
also
connect-
connected.
Yeah, I hear you.
connecting with his with strong zach.
Moshe, you mentioned one by a check-in, something very profound. I just wanted to remind you that if I take this energy and share it to someone needs a refiya, someone needs a yeshia, and I share this powerful energy and translate to that.
Das ist für young.
Yeah, it's
the same idea.
Powerful. Same idea.
What's a mehr matter masur bschad ist nicht für der Eibster noch gestern
Yeah,
für jenem.
yeah. It's more gashmedik.
No, but it brings
It's
it
tangible.
tangible. And Thomas da get the frage that you want to do it for us his.
At the end of the day, what does the Eibishter want? He wants
I'll
you to give.
explain. I'll give it from the top.
Okay.
Right.
No, I'm saying it's the same. What you're saying is give it to the Eibishter. What would the Eibishter do with it? Give it to someone.
Right, beautiful. It's all one.
You go into
But the kid is you turn it into a positive.
Yeah. You're taking that same.
So the beginning of it is that as temptation comes and I can't, it's hard. I can't hold myself back. So for myself, I can, because clearly I have no mercy on myself because I was abused. Whatever, the object was abused. So my lack of love makes me check into low frequency again. But what if a friend calls me in the middle of the night and tells me, I have a flat tire, I'm stuck on the highway, it's freezing cold. You'd be out in a minute, jump out of bed, I'm doing it for a friend or for a house, somebody that needs, for my children, for my family, the wife. Right? So if you can't do it for yourself, think about your family, think about and that friend or that yid that needs a refuah, and use that, give it there, and you're going to feel that thing released right away.
Moshe, I heard once the Rebbe said if you bring in that, I was actually right. The Rebbe said, Zerl of a Torah is good. I don't know the word, when I heard it, because it brings one to do tshuva. It's a whole nother.
It brings something. It brings the truth. Yeah, that's big, broad shoulders.
Sie breit ist, sie breit.
I know. I heard
That's good.
Can I convert tonight?
Schon kein Geier.
So no, I'll tell you like this. Very good. So there's two. I want to respond to that. So there's three levels of mila. The first mila is adlis when the child is born. The first mila, bris mila. The second one is adlis alev, which you have to. First we do the first one bris mila. The second one I have to do the avodah. Like you're working on yourself, trying to figure out how to be better and how to do better. That's the avavkam. Then there is I forgot the lashon, the pnimius halev. That you back into. And the martial I see is like the candy that has the soft spot inside, like the hard candy, and then inside is the last
gum.
The gum. That's the panimia salev. That's where we're all connected with highest level of love. And as you do yourself, you keep doing this avoid by using the negative to the positive. You start playing, all of a sudden you find yourself, boom, you back yourself in. And once you're back into that, it's like the ice pack, or the heat pack that you crack, and it just becomes hot. Takes over the whole body. And when you asked if you can convert tonight, you've already busted that heat pack. So it's not about converting. Sorry, you came.
But feel they want to touch my mind to say well, I'm talking to people. I have a customer that tells me, and it's not the price, but it tells me like this. I can't hold back, so I see that I need to work on something. And Mamish says these words, as the point is, there's something in me that I don't see what it is, but happens that to go to a deeper place why this is still happening. So as Mamish de word. This is very powerful.
So he takes it, someone
he takes it for Chiva.
Wow.
And so the do titzig happens that I need to become better, even though he doesn't see it on the surface. And wow. I have to become. Mamish, you saying
because it's
I'm saying the point for the man. Will Chiva in nicht auf der Sach. There is something going on with me as ich bin involved in them.
Yeah.
So
it's like a negative us.
Yeah, no, it feels like he's not depressed. He says like, forget for them, all the other is not Nicht ganz geklappt, powerful normale Mensch, but is nichshel and he feels like he wants to become better because this shows him that it's something, a symptom. Mama's doing better. So it's very powerful when you hear the zach and then you see a person actually expressing that.
You wanted to say something, Moshe?
I wanted to say two things. First of all, the thing that you mentioned it very briefly, but I think we should just take that in and like you say, always take that with mitnehmen. Is that this is a huge plays a huge role in every, whether it's smoking. It says, okay, so if I'm stopping, that's it. I'm never. The flipper plays a big role
Yes.
back in the future, and it works.
I heard yesterday that I ever told somebody to learn Gemara Yidden to Nishmei for 6 minutes. Just yesterday I heard it. To learn Gemara 6 minutes, that's it. Told him stop after 6 minutes. They ever told somebody once to learn Gemara Yidden too, but they'll stop in 6 minutes.
What's the point?
What's the point? And because he's like, that's it. So the Gemara 6 minutes.
I can understand it. I feel it.
Huh?
I can understand it. I feel it.
So I understood it too in a way that it was that type of energy. A flashy type of, like 6 minutes, enough.
I don't get 6
It's
minutes.
enough, or
Oh, it's
or
enough.
It's my 6 minutes.
No, it's a powerful brain that more than 6 minutes, it's Shvir Sakelim. He can't.
So if I can show you that what made me crazy the last few months, the story of Shlomo says about this guy he met in mikveh in Texas Friday afternoon. He met a guy in mikveh Friday afternoon, and he full of tattoos, and he was like, "Oh my God, what are you doing in mikveh?" So the guy said,
I'm dealing with Das Tachten. I'm struggling to stay afloat. Achar kach bei der Mabel in Stalka mit Rekia Gimel Adalet. Noch ein der Mabel is geworden für Rekia Gimel Adalet, when higher up. Kada Isa b'med Shraven. Al Pasuk v'Yishma es koil avaya lekim mishalach bagam. Kigan Rab Abba mahalach ein ksef kaan ele mishalach. Gaitzach kofetz v'ozel. Geheerd hem kol avaya lekim. Or the mission bamchet that geheerd is sigat mishalach bagam. It goes from one to the other. It was jumping. So the after the Eitzadas, it started going removing on themselves. After that came down the Zibn Tzadikim, where he redo as a Shchina Lamata, so Maruk bring the Shchina do in. Avram Zacha, where it's a Shchina Meriki Zayin Lavav, Yitzchak Mavav Lehei, Ad Ki Moshe Shia Shvi, V'chol Shvivin Chaviven. And the Yede Zibete is Chaviven, Haride Lamata Ba'aretz, and Tzaruk bring do in Aretz. The Ike Gila Likus Hoiba Beis HaMikdash. Now, what does it mean with the Rugebring the consciousness do in Welt? Torah. We found a language finally that we can communicate and we can start climbing the ladder to where we need to be. Through Torah means not sitting Ibra Gemura. Ibra Gebrachim Torah means using my brain, Dazeli. Just trying to figure out how to get into more light. That is Torah. We have the tools through Torah.
Call Reise means light. Ik probeer kan zoeken man.
Yes.
Kom maar daar alleen masker met dus gulmai door Reise from talking light.
Yes. It's very important, very powerful, because I struggle with it personally. With, as musician and malentnish, how can you just be like, even if you do, in other words, even if you had a good day, you were in positive mode. It's like because we're trained that when I was on interdrikt and look, we only needed that when party was fully active. And it was still, we were just now entering into this Gulas of Adam, so we needed this intense training because he was intense drilling. And this is how we build massive communities. Tzeduk and Chesed buildings because of Zekstefatoks learning and going and pushing, and we made it. But now you don't need this. It's called Chavaya. Being with yourself. You can sit on your couch and just be at peace. You are right now in Shchina. Shchina is now resting. You are in communication with Shchina. Father God, Shabbos Kodesh, Zuga L'chaim, wine, or whatever your choice of putting your nuchash to sleep, or so you can make room to recognize that you just downloaded a higher conscious called in a Shumei Seder. Being with yourself, you are in conversation right now with Shchina.
How do we know that?
By feeling it.
How can we be sure?
You want to be sure? What does it feel like? What is no? A good question. What does it feel like when your boss is pushing you around and after there is a stuff is not happening? My son, God forbid, gets burned, right? Different things. God forbid, different things happening. Then it's not good. There's a manifestation of gevurus. Right? Just going back. I'm using extreme examples just to make a point. But I know when I am. Right now, I'm not. Right now, I'm in a good place. Friday night, I'm in a good place. When I talk to my friend, when I'm in the mikveh and I'm in the high Sebastian, I like me for a minute. I'm in a good place. If hold on, if it comes with pain, then it's not. You're not on shefa. If it comes with pain, then you're not on shefa. Listen, you're asking a question which
I struggle with it crazy also.
Yeah, I can't.
Because then can I feel like
So
finally I'm sitting and I'm relaxing and I'm enjoying myself by doing nothing. Kimtesha and Zutalo, like, what are you doing? Toilet.
How much do you love yourself?
A lot.
Okay, so then show yourself some love. Let me ask you a question. If that was your son, and he sat on the couch, he was finally relaxing for a minute, and then he starts just like, I'm like, where are you running, Jeffel? Where are you going? I have to go learn. Like, it's okay. Take your time. Relax. Okay, so use that as an archoizer for myself. I'm no different than the child. Oh, but even the Chaderwachsner mentioned Elamaving then. So Dan Eberster only resides when die is in Gemurah, which is exactly 1 minute a day. But when I'm davening, learning, and I'm sitting with myself, there is no. When I'm in the Schwitz, there's no Eberster. Right now, when I get why? Why? No, I'm being real. Ugeris. I'm using a specific kuris. But start. You made the promise. You went to a workshop. You made the promise. I will not squeeze, hurt my little boy again. I'm going to be kind to him.
Oh, so op een andere angle.
What?
Op een andere angle.
You know what?
Yeah.
If I realized it, I for 10 years, every Chodesh used to go to Ribnitz, to the team. Last few months, I forgot about it. And I decided it's impossible. If I'm not going there, then something's going to be taken away from me, right? Then I'm not connected. Right? If I don't go there every Chodesh, then what happens then?
It's like
if I don't do that, if I don't live, what happens then?
It's like going to Uman when it becomes like a desperation.
You have to be there. You have to be there. If not,
you're missing the point. You're missing the point.
Right?
You're turning it into Chalil B'chaz. But yeah.
You're right. This is how I'm doing it. If you don't learn, if you don't do this, but I can't learn. That means I can't be connected.
If I go in Echtzerasmach, then I'm in the opposite side of where I need to be with this.
If things don't flow, if you feel like resistance.
Exactly. The only thing we don't know now, but now they have moments already of manipulation. You've experienced some light, so you already know, like, this is not just out of flow. This is not happening. And I believe over here, multiple have bought homes over here. Right? A few guys bought houses over here. And how did the process go? Was it, like everybody says, the pressure, the holes, or it was just smooth? And you turned it into a pressure, and everything just happened to just fall into place. So you see how it does not have to be. It can be. This is what flow. This is das. This is what das is here for. The Iker Gili Elikus hoy bebeis hamikdash. The Iker Gili Elikus again in beis hamikdash. The Ksiv beasel in mikdash v'shechanti b'seichem. B'seichel le'nemer. Ele b'seichem b'seich kal echel ve'echel. V'zer tzadikim yirshi aretz v'ishkin al adalaya. Beasel in mikdash v'shechanti b'seichem. Staat niet dat hij dwell in it, but in zij. So we are representing the Beis HaMikdash. This Shechina is within each and every one of us. Thank you so much. I forgot to mention it. I didn't know that I wanted. And the tzaddikim el yashenen the urut v'yishken ila adalei. So an Alexander. But the tzaddikim yishor shehu Gan Eden. This is Gan Eden. B'nei Lafi Shehem Mashkinen, which is Hainem Mamshichen, beginnen Shoichen Ad Muren L'Kudesh, Shiyir Begidel Lamata. We'll bringen them Shoichen Ad sitzt, rest, dwelt in Murem, the Hoyden, the Kudish and Heilig. Kudish meant Kudish and Mivlu. What does it mean? Let's go into that word Murem and Kudish and then we'll stop after a few lines. Shohoy begil lamata.
It's missing a line.
Oh, I'm missing a line. Okay. Sorry. It's all Machi's fault. Okay, Murem and Kudish v'shatel azoi. In what we are possessing, what's coming, the light that's coming in is something that is sitz shoichan ad is endless, ad shoichan, he rests, shoichan shchina, he rests, dwells, he halos, ad der hoiden, murem is also another form of der hoiden, it's like a ceramimus, right? A ceramimus, sie groistig, v'kudish, kudish is kadosh and muvdal. Kudish is azoi. Hamelech HaKudish Pshat is that I'm getting a level of Elokus, and it's like he's not that. Kudish. He can't, whatever concept you have is, it keeps moving, endless. Anything that you process, finally you're getting a concept. He's not this, he's not that, he's not. It's a process of getting to know less and less until it's B'tachas Apshitis, until it's Tachas Haidid Shalaneda, Keser, and he wants that Shia Begidel Lamata. This is where we're going. That's what's going to happen. We're going to get to a point where you're going to completely back into your Talumus Alev, to your sister Alev, where you're going to connect with this Murem V'Kudish, and it's going to be his Galas over here. You're going to be able to walk and you're going to see a Lakus and everything. You're going to see, you're going to understand the Lakus in a glass of wine. Wow, when I drink this wine, what koich does it have? What do I taste? What do I feel? Just by looking at it, you can process it. You don't need to eat a lemon to get water in your mouth, to get a sour taste in your mouth. You think about it and it's already there. The music does not have to be injected into me. I can just listen to it. I walk into the room and I'm not feeling right over here, or I'm feeling amazing over here. What is that? Okay, so this is how we operate. That's the level of sensitivity, and this is going to be his galas gilu lamata. Knowing the koich, you can look at a tree, at greenery, and just, what is this when you walk into the mountains, the wild, and you're having this feeling? Bring Das Eli into it, and feel what it feels. Bring it inward. I walk in and like, wow. I feel it. I can get all the nutrients from that. You feel that greenery, you feel that koich. That's the koich from the trees. So this is how we go, again, Das Elyon. I don't need to chap it to take it, and then of course you can touch it, and we have different sensory to activate different ways of picking up, and through that process more clearly this consciousness. And this is coming into my Taman Guten. This is how I play. The else is do everything is happening down here. The Indian who the hinne tachas akavana. Why taka? What do you mean why it's here? Tell me a story. How do I know? Right? How do I know that this is it? He wanted to play this game. This is the only place where he's being acted out in moving, touching, tasting, creating, feeling, expressing. I get to choose. It's an amazing program. And this is how we wanted it to be over here. There should be is galus elikus doing well through the avoide van a mensch. How? Al des kafke vis hapge. Skafke is I'm holding myself back, I'm saying no, and eventually as I'm holding myself back, I fall into his hapge. I flip it over, I find the positive on it, I find the other side of it. The neshama tered lamata leslavish beguf and nefesh bahamas. The neshama is rugi kimulein to be in the slavish and nefesh bahamas. Behem yalima v'yastira leir neshama. Their nefesh bahamas is malam and master of the lichtikat from the neshama. What is the lichtikat from the neshama? That feeling of serenity, of amazingness that you're feeling. Like when you're eating something good and it tastes good, being present, mindful with it. Ubekal zeh tippel on neshama bidder v'zikich hagiv and nefesh. And by the way, this is the brucha that we got essen abissel. And it's very sad because when I'm in party program, I can't do this because I'm so distracted with my phone. I'm everywhere but with my food. I'm eating, half walking, half dancing. So there's no bruch in their food. And that's how they get away with giving us garbage food. But if I become mindful, I taste and I get into it, I eat. You can still eat a lot, but it gives you the koyach. You're tuned into it and you're processing. I remember the tzira that you have when you will receive that's what you're going to be getting from it. So if I'm eating and I'm miserable, I'm feeding misery. But if I change my tzir and I become present, my phone is away, I'm being present, I'm eating now with my family or whatever it is. You can say, I want to be my own thoughts now. I need 15 minutes for myself. That's the type of koich you're going to get from the food. And very soon you're going to realize what's a low frequency food and what's a high vibration food. Mitamal, like a Twizzler or a bread that's injected with stuff that just blows you up and distracts you, my machine doesn't process it anymore. It just doesn't. I don't run on this fuel, because when I eat this fuel, I get into a bad mood. I get moody. I can't think, and I just make my family miserable. ובכל זה תפעל הנשמה בירה וזיך הגוף הנפש הבהמס. כבהם ילימי והסתיר על עיר הנשמה, ובכל זה תפעל הנשמה בירה וזיך הגוף הנפש הבהמס. וגם חלקה בעולם. And through all this, the neshama is get a bitter and zikich for the guf in the nefesh habahamis. Now remember something very powerful. The neshama is a chelik lekam mal mamish. It's high stuff, right? The guf is higher than the neshama. The guf is higher than the neshama, and as we're cleansing it and we're getting rid of the nachash, it's going to be on top, which means as follows. The neshama is very nice. The mashal is the coiling ones, the neshama. The guf is like basically seeing elikus in this cup. Seeing elikus in the cup, seeing the energy, seeing the oil in everything, seeing the power, and this is where the guf is higher than the neshama, because he's able to see elikus in from the other side, from the acharan. And once we get clear with it, it's going to be panim b'panim. You're going to recognize when you look at somebody, you're like, wow, this is a get l'chazach. You're going to see it, and then when it speaks, it's a get l'chazach. It's, we're going to wake up to that. That's what I'm saying. When you listen to a tzaddik, don't necessarily listen to what he's saying. Just his channel, his tune. Just listen. That because it was so intense. So I felt like I should. I didn't want to share it, but we can share it if there's a request. Fine. I'm not. Yeah. Okay. V'gam b'chelkei. Because the tifel ansham bira v'zikach haguf v'nefesh habahamis v'gam chelkei ba'olam. V'zeh v'asel in migdash v'shechanti b'sechem. This pshat is machpana b'seh migdash in chekenerin in them. V'sech kol echad v'echad. Inside each and every one. V'hu alidei avodah v'avodah sabirunim. This is through the avodah from Barum. Once you become a master, you become a fachman in avodah sabirunim, which is the aselian, all the stuff that we're talking about, mastering my emotions.
Shechanti b'sechem is not between your husband and your wife. The shechan is it.
On every level, my husband and wife is it.
But if Hashem wants to live with in our house between husband and wife, right?
That's in Klodis, yes. But yeah, 100%. It works together. That's a full Kohen Shalem. That's a full package. But you can have also within me. He's talking about Klodis now.
But what is stronger?
What is stronger is you're not going to put film with your wife. Right? That's an avodah between you and your creator. It's a different type of avodah. Then I have an avodah between me and my wife. That's a powerful avodah. That takes a lot more mastery than wrapping film.
But if you don't have shleimus with your wife, you don't have a shechina, right?
Correct.
So you can't get the
hold on a second. You can have. It's another level of shalom. Now, it's a perfect simple. My business is making money. You have a partner, but you're not getting along with him. There's still money, but is there full peace? There's still resentment, resistance. There's still money flowing. Yes, I have shechina. But it's not, when I come home, there's not shalom. So you're not in full peace. You're working on it. You're not in full peace yet. Is there no shechina? Of course there is shechina. There is shechina, but it's not still shechina begalisa, because I'm still not enough compassionate, because I'm still not able to trigger that mirror back at me. Now again, I'm talking klali. Everybody has their own issues, personal tweaking that needs to be done, and that's prati. But that's a whole different story. I can't talk to that. Only in prati, when it's bepratis. Okay. The avodah sabirunim b'chinas eskafa v'sarapcha. V'kamam rakad eskafa sitracha is talig gekore kitzburg kila almen. Wenn ze do aktie von sitrage, is talig gekore titzig op gekore kitzburg kila almen. Dus shot is talig as even in zoyer. Is talig means not as it titzig op, but it opens up. It becomes a more refined koyach. And this is a very reverse engineering type of concept. Because I had a question, is here we are by the Egel, I said it there once, here we are by the Egel. We just did the Chet Egel, Ayin Gimel, and the Eibishter wants to finish, take us out. Moshe pleads, barely forgives. Right away he's like, Hareinu Noskawadecha. And now first he asks him, don't show yourself to the other Nevi'im, to the Goyim, the way you show yourself to us. He just said, granted. Then he's like, Hareinu Noskawadecha. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He just barely, like, he gave you the biggest life. You ask him in one, and then another one. So Chassidus explains that this is where you can see how twisted it is, how off course we are. We think that there's a punishment. If I do something, I get punished. Like everything, I did this, so now it's punishing me. He doesn't. This is clean kapali. He's not here to tritz with you. He wants that he's kula toiv, he's full of compassion, he's full of love. This is him, strawberries, blueberries, clouds, oceans. He's not the rough. So as I fail with one, he's not here to make it tougher on me. He becomes more refined. It becomes a more revealed, compassionate hand gets, okay, listen son, you're so deep, I gotta get more lower with you, come here. He keeps picking us up.
Isn't it the same thing we say every Shmonesra? Slach Luni, and then you right away go around you when you're angry? Because, same thing?
Just 1 second. Let me just stay on that. So, this is as I fall, there's a more delicate level of his galas of boyer that's revealed to me. Alright? So this is how this works, not the opposite. Okay, go ahead. What was the question? What's Slach Loni?
Also the same. If he says Slach Loni, then right away, Ryan or Yani.
No.
So it's like, okay, you did something wrong, but then you can right away go back and ask even more, right?
Yes, very good. Yes, I never saw it that way. Yes. Because I saw it in the end as more of an aggressive request. I never saw it as a compassionate request for anyone in. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, you've been fully converted.
I'm every day in Crown Heights, every single day, so.
All right, so we're wrapping up over here.